Hi, Lloyd Rieber here to show the latest updates to my Q-Sort tool. Although my motivation in creating this app has been to explore ways to use Q-sorts in my teaching and not for research, I frankly have had more inquiries about the app's use for Q research. Consequently, I've added some features that make my app very easy to use for Q researchers. The most important revision has been making it easy to transport the data collected by my app to two of the most widely used Q methodology statistical packages, namely PQ method and KenQ. Okay, let's take a look. First, please note that I'm not going to demonstrate how my Q-sort tool works beyond those features most relevant to the researcher. I've made another video that demonstrates how the app works from the student or participant point of view. I hope you will choose to watch that video because I've designed my app in a way that I think remains true to the original design of the Q-sort activity. For example, the participant always has access to all of the statements while doing the sort, unlike most other digital Q-sort tools I've seen, which are designed to present only some of the statements to participants at any one time. I have two versions of my app, one simply for participants and also one for instructors. And as you can see, there's a little choice down here to make this app go into instructor mode. And only the instructor version has this particular option. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And I have some other tools that have popped up. One I'll just make mention of. I have in my latest revision, I call it kiosk mode. I've had people ask me about the idea of having my Q-sort app say on a computer in a classroom off to the side and have participants go through it kind of at their leisure or with supervision, you might say, but not using their own computer. And so I've made that feature available should an instructor want that. And the reason why that's important, the student version or the participant version of the app, it actually, once somebody completes a Q-sort, they are prevented from doing the Q-sort more than once. So the kiosk mode might be useful to you. But I'm going to go ahead and choose to analyze a Q-sort. This allows the instructor to go and analyze a Q-sort without having first needing to actually do the Q-sort themselves. Okay, let me analyze a Q-sort. And I need to enter the code for the Q-sort. Again, my app allows instructors and also researchers to create as many Q-sorts as you want and to reuse them in interesting ways. Maybe adapt one Q-sort to create a second one, or create a definition for one Q-sort and then administer that to various groups while keeping the data separate for those individual groups. So this code is for a Q-sort I did in one of my classes in the fall of 2017 that involved a group of teachers who were learning about instructional design and how it might be used in the K-12 classroom. So that's the code. Let me go ahead and click OK. It's now checking the database, and we can see I have 18 responses to this particular Q-sort. And I have two buttons here to do some calculations for some immediate results. I'm not going to show the view Q-sort, current Q-sort results. This is probably a set of results that the expert Q researcher is not probably going to like very much. It's kind of an adaptation of some R methodology in order to get some quick data about individual statements and so forth, all in the spirit of trying to promote classroom discussion. But I will show the view who is like me results, because this is simply a correlation matrix, but it's in a different form. So if let's say I was Taylor, if I click on my name, it shows the correlations between me and everybody else who took the Q-sort. And as you can see, it shows that there are some significant correlations between Taylor and these people that you can see that are starred. And of course, creating a correlation matrix is one of the first steps in doing a Q analysis. But again, for my instructional purposes, I think this was really quite nice to have a reason for, say, an individual to search out those people who had maybe they had the most in common with, or maybe find people who were that they had the least in common with in order to have a discussion with those individuals. Okay, but let me go back and we'll check the database for more responses. We still, I'm sure, have just 18. But now I want to show you, if I am a Q researcher, how to get this data into a Q statistical package. And you can see down here there's a button that says export data in PQ method format. So let me go ahead and choose that. Okay, and as you can see, it has formatted the data in a very particular way. I have all of the Q responses for each person up here in the top box with some kind of header information that the statistical package needs. And then in this field, I have all of the statements. And so I'm ready to copy those. I can actually click those buttons to copy, but I'm going to go ahead and open up one of the analysis packages, namely KenQ. And I have embedded some of the really most rudimentary instructions on how to use the KenQ analysis website. So if I open this up here, you'll see that here are some, again, very rudimentary instructions. So if you're new to using KenQ, you might find this helpful just to kind of get started, but obviously there's a lot of background information for all this to make sense. And I even have a button here to open up the KenQ analysis website, and I'll do that real quick. On my Mac, it launches Safari, which actually is not a supported browser for KenQ. So I'm going to quickly shift over to Google Chrome. Okay, and what I'm going to do is give you a lightning tour of how to use KenQ to do an analysis, but this is by no means meant to be a tutorial. I just want to give you a good sense of how it is to use my tool to collect data and then being able to take that data into a tool like KenQ to do the analysis. So as I scroll down a little bit here, I have some choices for what kind of data format I'm going to have. And you can see I've already chosen PQ method. Now there's other ways of bringing data into KenQ, but I'm choosing the PQ method because many people still use this one other analysis package called PQ method, which is I think only for Windows. So I wanted to have a format that would work in both. So what I need to do, I have these two fields. I need to now copy and paste the data from my app into these two fields. So first is the data itself. Let me switch back to my app, and I will copy the data to the clipboard. All right, now on the clipboard, go back to KenQ, and I'm going to paste that data in. Scroll down a little bit, go back to my app, copy the statements. Very good, and now go back to KenQ and paste those in. All right, and now it's all going to be within KenQ. So again, very quickly, I'm going to go through the steps here. First, I have to stage the data for the analysis, which I just clicked. And then you can see it's put all that information in that field. Step number 2, let me go ahead and make a correlation matrix. And this is, again, the very same data that you saw with the Are You Like Me activity, but this is, of course, in the traditional matrix that you would tend to see correlations. Okay, factor extraction. I'm going to choose extract principal components. And there we go. And there we go. I'm looking for the eigenvalues, and I see that we have these 5 factors with an eigenvalue over or greater than 1. So those are probably going to be the 5 factors that will be most important here, or will be most valid. So I will keep 5 in my head as I come down. And yes, so I can choose how many factors to use in the rotation. So I will choose 5. I'll submit that. And I'll just use Varimax rotation. I know there's a lot of controversy over which rotation to choose, but this is a very quick little tour. All right, here we go. All right, so I always like to auto flag the factor loadings, and I do like to have it instead of by responded ID, but by highest loading factor. And that really is helpful because it shows me in a very nice visual way which participants are loading on which of the factors. Very nice. Okay. And I will also choose to show the results, and I'll show them for all 5 factors. So displaying some preliminary results. Of course, I can download these results. And there you can see I have idealized Q-sorts for each of the factors. Now, of course, making meaning from all of this is a whole different story, but I hope you get the point that it is very easy now to collect data with my app and then bring it in to KenQ. Okay, I'm going to now just switch back to my app, and if I wanted to do another analysis, I could hit exit and go back and analyze another Q sort by putting in the code for whatever that other Q sort would be. Well, I hope this video gave you a good idea of how my app can be used in Q research. If you are interested in trying it out, feel free to request an instructor account at my website or just email me. My app is still in beta mode, meaning that there are likely some bugs remaining that my own testing has yet to reveal, so I'm counting on people to partner with me to keep improving the app. Oh, the app is free, and it will remain free to everyone who works at nonprofit organizations such as colleges and universities. Thanks for watching.